I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor, and we have breaking news. Alright, so this is the situation we have right here. We are looking at a possible derecho right here. I repeat, a derecho is possible late this afternoon into tonight. And it's all going to start in the South Dakota, Iowa, this area right here. We're going to go over all these threats right now just to keep you guys informed. We have the wind threat. Take a look at this. This is why they issued the moderate risk, ladies and gentlemen. There is a 45% risk within a hatched area of very powerful winds over 75 miles per hour within 25 miles of a point. And that affects Sioux Falls, Brookings, Mitchell, and South Dakota, Worthington in Minnesota, and Spencer in Iowa. I've looked at the CAPE values of this, and they are absolutely insane. And we're actually going to go ahead and show you guys what I'm looking at. Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at CAPE values of over 6,000 joules per kilogram. Just for context to that, the El Reno tornado in 2013, the world's largest tornado ever recorded, had over 6,000 joules per kilogram. It actually came close to 6,000. We have the highest reading I'm looking at is almost 6,300 joules per kilogram. This environment is very conducive for severe weather. And let's go ahead and take a look at the hail risk. The hail risk isn't as bad. The main threat is the wind risk, but we cannot discount the hail risk as well. 15% within a hatched area. 15% of 2-inch hail or greater within 25 miles of a point. Now, we're going to go ahead and read this. A summary, quote, a derecho with embedded significant severe wind gusts appears possible from central to eastern South Dakota into southwest Minnesota and northern Iowa into this evening. We're going to go ahead and be reading some of the synopsis right here just to give you some context. South Dakota to Iowa in southern Minnesota. An intense cluster of over central South Dakota will likely persist east-southeast across southeastern South Dakota. Just forgot to mention, there are storms going on right now. Those storms are moving through central South Dakota right now. It's about to move through the very conducive environment we're looking at, and it's expected to really ramp up in intensity. So just for context sake right here. This should evolve into a forward propagating linear MCS banding and latitudinal extent as the ML sin further diminishes ahead of it. Yeah, the cap that usually counters the CAPE, there's pretty much no cap right there. And just to show you guys in the CAPE, like the cap is non-existent. We're looking at 0, -1, -2 in some, -2 in a good area. Like that's bad news right there. Like, your guys are going to see some severe weather because what happens is when the CAPE breaks in one area, it breaks explosively. I explained this in all my documentaries I made on certain tornadoes and all of that. And I cannot emphasize this enough. A large CAPE reservoir in excess of 3,000 joules per kilogram. We're looking at values over 6,000 right here. So that's half, like 3,000 joules per kilogram, that's half of that. Now, let me explain it very quickly. Anything over 2,000 joules per kilogram is considered a very conducive environment. Anything over 4,000 joules per kilogram is considered an extremely conducive environment. Ladies and gentlemen, 6,000 joules per kilogram is unprecedented, especially if you mix all the moisture, all the humidity. Let's actually take a look at some of the values right here. Let's take a look at the dew points right here. We're looking at upper 70s, lower 80s in dew point right there. That is crazy. Like, this is like a once in a lifetime event we're potentially looking at right here. The temperatures with this ripe for a derecho. We're looking at upper 80s, lower 90s in some areas, ripe for a derecho, ripe for those storms to move right through, really ramp up, absorb all that moisture, and just cause a lot of potential destruction with this. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and continue. They across southern South Dakota, Minnesota, and northern Iowa will support potential for embedded significant severe wind gusts exceeding 75 knots. 75 knots, just for those of you at home, that's around 85 miles an hour. That's more than 85 miles per hour. That's a Category 1 hurricane right there, and equivalent, of course. While the majority of the cam guidance appears to be aerodynamically poor, I can't pronounce that, with handling of the conceptual model of this event, the 12Z HRW, ARW, and NSL are in the ballpark of suggest Boeing linear segments will be maintained into southern Minnesota and northern Iowa before weakening this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at a moderate risk of severe weather from South Dakota to parts of Iowa, including Sioux Falls. The area of population that's under that is over 500,000. The area under the enhanced risk is over a million. And if we take a look at this, some of this storm activity could bleed into tomorrow, albeit it's going to be at a much less of a less intensity right there. But the main story is late this afternoon into this evening. If you are in any of these areas, you need to pay attention to this. From what I understand, there's a severe thunderstorm watch going out right now, and everyone needs to take it very seriously. We are looking at a potential derecho exceeding winds of over 75 miles an hour. That is why I am taking this seriously. There was a huge derecho back in 2020, a truly once-in-a-lifetime event right there. We had wind gusts equivalent to Category 4 hurricanes right there, over 140 miles an hour. This has the potential to destroy homes, destroy lots of crops, has the potential to potentially hurt or, God forbid, kill someone. Everyone that is in this area needs to take it seriously. Thank you for watching, and if you're in that area, you need to pay attention to your local weather guidance and stay safe.